Hey everyone, welcome back to Coach Master Tutorial series. In this video, we will implement CRUD operations for subjects, chapters, and quizzes in the admin dashboard. By the end of this video, admin will able to add, edit, and delete these entities. Let's get started. In this video, we will add, create, read, update, and delete functionality for subjects. And similarly, we will implement CRUD functionality for chapters and quizzes, and we will ensure the admin can manage all data seamlessly. So here is the CRUD operation flow for subject. So admin visits the subjects page to manage the subjects, and there are three operations admin can perform: add, edit, delete. When they perform add, so they see uh, the subject form page and they fill the form. If the form is not valid, we show the validation errors. If it is valid, we will create a new subject in database, and we will then redirect the admin to manage subjects page. Next, when the admin will perform the edit action, so they will see the subject form for edit, and they will update the form, and if the form is not valid, we will show the errors. If the form is valid on submit, we will update the subject in database, and then we will redirect the admin to manage subjects page again. The last operation is the delete operation. When admin perform the delete action on subject, so we will delete the subject from database and redirects the admin to manage subject page again. Similarly, the same CRUD operations flow we will have for chapters and quizzes. So let's start with the forms first. Okay. So for creating the subject, chapters, and quizzes, we need the Flask form. Okay. So create the forms for all these entities. Start with subject form. That will be the instance of Flask form, and subject form will have the fields of name, description. So the name will be string field, name, then validators, and validators we need data required. Data required will also valid for register form and login form. We haven't added data required, the email, so email is required, the password is required, confirm password is required, and in the login, username is required and password is required. Okay, come back to the subject form. So the name will be required type. So validator we have it for data required. Then the description can be optional. So the description will be text area field, cause description can be a long one. So text area field, so text area, and description, and no validators required. Okay, then we will have the field submit field and submit. Okay, next we will create the form for chapter form. The instance will be of Flask form, and chapter have name, description and subject ID. So name will be similar, string field name, validators will be data required. Description also will be similar as subject, so you can have the text area of description, and then this will have the subject field or subject ID. So with this it will show the relation with the subject. Okay, the subject ID will be select field. Why? Cause in the form we need to show the all the subjects. Okay, all the subjects name in a drop down list. So from there admin can select the subject, and when they will select, so the coerce int will ensure that the value will be converted to integer before saving in subject ID. Okay, so the select field admin can select the subject and the value will be stored as subject ID. Okay, as we are ensuring with this coerce integer to convert the value to integer. Okay, then the validators, yes, data required. Okay, and then submit, that will be submit field. Okay, next is quiz form, that will be the instance of Flask form, and we have in the quiz we have date of quiz and time duration. Okay, so the quiz of time, date of quiz will have date time field type, and then the label will be date of quiz, and so format is the seconds is needed. No, not needed. Then validators, data required. Okay, the next field is time duration, that is integer. So time duration will be integer field that we haven't added yet. Integer field, to get time duration, the value will be in seconds. Okay, so in seconds, and validator, data required. Okay, and then we have chapter id. Chapter id will be similar as we have the subject id in chapter form. So that will be select field, the label is chapter, and coerce as integer after selecting, and the validators will be data required. Okay, and then last submit button or submit field. Cool. So we have added all the forms, subject, chapter and quiz. Okay, next we will create routes uh, for handling the CRUD operations for these specific forms. Okay, so start with the subject. So we needed three routes, one for add, one for edit and one for delete. So for each of the entity we needed three routes, okay, for subject, for chapter and for quizzes. So when we will start with the subject and then we'll copy the similar to other entities. Okay, so first start with the add. So app dot root admin add subject login required def add subject, and if user is not admin user, then return to home by rejecting the request, and if it is, then create the form object. Okay, form will be subject form, then we will needed the chapter form, and then we'll also need the quiz form. Okay, so create the form object for subject form. Okay, then if form dot validate on submit, it means when clicking on submit it will validate, and if true, then we'll create the subject. So how we'll create that? Make the subject model object using subject name, that will be form dot name dot data, and description will be form dot description dot data. Okay, next, so after creating the object for this record, we will store in the database. So db.session.add subject, and then db.session.commit to save into the database, and then add a message subject added successfully, and category is success, then return the admin to return the admin to manage subjects section. So the manage subject section, return there. Okay, where is root? This one. Manage subjects. And then okay, and then render the template. So return render template, and we will create the template at last, but just name it here. So the admin slash add subject dot html, and given the form in form parameter. Okay, next we will create the root for edit subject. So that will be f dot root and then admin edit subject, and we will provide a ID, okay, for edit the subject and deleting the subject. Okay, this is login required, and the handler will be edit subject, and the ID will come here, and then we'll check the admin user, and with the ID we will first fetch the subject record from the database. So the subject will be subject dot query dot get or 404 ID. So the get or 404, what it does, if the ID, if the record with ID does not exist, it will return the not found error. Okay, so we are fetching the subject record with the ID, and then we will initiate the form object where we will fill the data or fill the fields data using the subject record. Okay, so we fetch the record, we are initiating the form object, and we will supply the field values from the fetched record. Okay, once we will have the form, we will validate our form, similar to form.validate on submit, and then if the form is validated, we will save the data as, so basically we will assign the new values to subject record. So subject dot name will be the new data from form dot name dot data, subject dot description equal to form dot description dot data. We will have the new data in subject record, then we will update this record using tb dot session dot commit. So it will save the changes or the initiated data for subject to database. So it will just update the subject record. Okay, and then we'll add a message flash subject updated successfully, and then category as success, and then return admin to manage subjects, and the template we will need it as admin edit subject, and form will be form. Okay, then the next route will be delete route. And one more thing, that is methods. Okay, so with add subject, uh, we will have two methods, get and post. So get message will render the form, and the form submit will use the post method. Okay, similarly the edit will use two methods, get and post, for one for uh, rendering the form, another for submitting the form. The third route will be delete f dot root admin delete subject, and this will also have the id that is needed to recognize the subject, and it will be a post only method. Okay, okay, login required, def delete subject and id, oh shit, id, then check the user is admin or not. After that, fetch the record with the id. So subject will be the record we fetched using the subject.query.get or 404 by giving the id. And if we have the subject, so what we will do, db.session.delete the subject, and then db.session.commit. Okay, then render to okay, there is no template. Basically we have to for delete we will not have any template, because we don't have to show the form. Okay, so that's why we will have only the post method. But after deleting the subject, we can redirect user to return redirect to manage subjects. Okay, that's it for delete. So we have the CRUD functionality for listing the subjects. Okay, and then adding the subject, editing the subject, and deleting the subject. So just move these mm, with the manage subject to group together the similar one. Okay, manage subjects, and here we will have all the roles related to the subject. Similarly, we have to create all these routes for chapters too. So we will have to create add chapter, edit chapter, and delete chapter, and further we have to create for quizzes too. Okay, so pause this video and try by yourself. Okay, so one by one you have to create all these roles for chapters. Okay, so we are done with all the roots for all the entities, chapters, and quizzes. Okay, next we will create our template for handling all these roots. Okay, so to create the template, we have to start with the first one, that is manage subjects. Okay, and we have to create one layout for all these. So if you remember, we have created these links and we have created a grid here. Okay, so we can use this same uh, template as base for all these other templates. Okay, so with that, admin will have this left sidebar all the time on each of the template. Okay, so how we will do that? So if we have to use this template as base template for others, so for that we can change some of the bits and pieces, like we can make one block for um, block for CRUD. Make this as CRUD, and the block here, and block, and close this. Inside this, um, we can render other data from the templates. Okay, so how we will start using this one? So start with the manage subjects. Replace the extending layout with the dashboard, and dashboard is already extending the layout, so layout feature we will get, and these features we will get at manage subjects using extends dashboard. Okay, the title will be manage subjects, and the content is, okay, so content we are giving from here, and we have to use this one to give our data. So remove this. um, okay, use block CRUD. Okay, and end block for this. Inside CRUD we will have this table. Okay, save it for now and run our server to check the functionality is working or not, and go to server, login as admin with the admin username credentials, and login it. Okay, so we are on the admin dashboard. Now if we click the manage subjects, so we are getting user dashboard. That is strange. um, okay, cause we have extended, so we have two dashboards, One is for user dashboard and one is admin dashboard. So we have to reference correctly. Okay, so we have to extend with the admin slash dashboard.html. So we have extended with admin dashboard template, and we are providing this table now between the block CRUD, okay, that we have created this block in the dashboard. Okay, so we are extending this dashboard in subjects. So click on the manage subjects and we can see our table at the right side from the manage subjects. Okay, so this is also h1, make this as h2 heading 2. So replace this one with h2. Okay, and similarly h2, and then so we can list our subjects here, but we need more functionality to add, edit and delete the subject. So add some placeholder for now, like for adding just a placeholder with blank link. We will implement that later. So this will be add subject. Okay, then okay, make some td element, and that will be edit, one more for delete. Reload this page. Okay, so now we have three placeholder link for adding the subject, edit and delete. Okay, similarly do for all and make heading as h2 for all these. Okay, so make this as h2 for all the places. And replace the extending from, so extend it now from the admin dashboard. So admin dashboard, save it. Okay, so load the page again and go to each of the root. So manage chapters at right side, quizzes, questions, users, scores. All are using now the admin dashboard template. Okay, cool. So we were on the subjects. So go here and we have added the placeholder for adding the subject, editing and deleting. So start creating the templates for these. Okay, so first start with the add subject. So for adding the subject, we were having the template name as add subject. So create it. Okay, and this will also uses the layout from admin slash dashboard .html. Okay, and then add block title. The title will be add subject. And block. Then block for CRUD, and inside the CRUD block we will render our form for submitting. So copy a form from login and modify this according to our needs. So form method will be post, and then our subject will have form name, no size limit, and this will also be the name. So we'll have the name input and error for name. Then we will have description, okay, and then form submit. Correct. Okay, so we can also add a heading as h2 add subject. Okay, cool. The edit form will be similar to add form, just the heading will be changed. So create the template for edit subject, edit subject .html as listed in root for heading edit subject, and the edit subject form will also be similar as add subject. So copy the form from here and paste it here, extending from admin dashboard. The title will be edit, and the heading also will be edit subject, and the form will be same name and description for the subject. Okay, so we have all the templates for subject we have. So just load it and check. So we have list subject template, then if we click on the add subject, okay, just change the link. Okay, so URL for add subject, and here URL for edit subject. Okay, so we have created a link for add and edit, reload it, and we got some error, could not build URL for endpoint edit subject. Did you forget to specify values ID? Okay, we are getting this error cause we haven't provided the ID in the edit link. So what we have to do, inside URL for we can add one more option that will ID, and the ID will be subject dot id, subject.id. Okay, now go back, reload the page, go to the subjects and click on add subject. Add subject form is working. Go back, create the edit subject, and edit subject is fine. The browser is edit subject /1. So id we are uh, sending to the browser. Okay, so edit is also working fine. Next we will create the link for delete. So we have removed the placeholder. Now we have to work with delete root. So delete root is post type of method. So we have to create the form here. Okay, so for creating the form, so inside form we will create a URL for in action where we will add the URL for delete subject, and we also need to provide the subject dot id, and the method will be post, close this, and inside the form we will create a button for delete. The button will have on click functionality. So when we click the button delete, it will show a dialog that will render a message. That will pop up a message. Okay, so we have added the delete button to using using the form with the post action. So load this again, and now touch the delete functionality too. So click here. It will say, are you sure you want to delete this subject? Okay, cancel it, reload it, click again. Are you sure you want to delete this subject? Okay, and the subject deleted successfully. Okay, we have 0 records now. So we have completed the functionality for subject, whole functionality: add, edit, delete, and list. Okay, similarly we have to create all the templates for chapters and quizzes. That we will do next. Okay.